So, assignment. Have you created the assignment?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have the assignment for. Okay. What about this object, this shape? How did you create this shape? How did you start with this shape?
सर पहले बेस और फिर उसको एक्सट्रूड करके
Okay. What is the diameter of this one? This pipe. You can see there is a pipe. What is the diameter of
30
this pipe? How much?
सर 49 माइनस 9 इधर डायमीटर हाइट
9 minus.
एंड इधर 38 डायमीटर दिया है सेक्शन में
Okay. And this one? This one.
24 36
No, I'm asking about this one. This pipe's dia.
सर सर वोल पाइप
How did you calculate the diameter? How did you calculate the diameter for this this pipe?
30 सर डायमीटर
I'm asking about how did you calculate the outer diameter for this pipe? The 38. How did you calculate that?
सर सेक्शन
सर
बी भी में
30
दिया
है
हुआ है सर।
Section
38
given. Okay.
सेक्शन बी भी
So how did you calculate this one or this one? The diameter of this pipe?
सर 49 माइनस इधर 49 दिया है ना सर उधर से रेफरेंस
49. Where is 49? No, that will not be the, because the pipe is merged in between.
Sir,
So
32 diameter.
yeah, it's 32 because if you see the
इस
section B, there is also a section C. You have to just see where this value should go. So there is this one is the section C. You can see section is from here. We have the section from here or from here. So this one is section is from here and the dia is 32. Okay. So after that, what about these holes? What about this one? Like M8 into 10 deep.
सर होल कमांड
सर मैंने इसको 8 डायमीटर मान लिया था और 4 रेडियस।
Okay. Okay. Right now you can do that, but in the next session I will show you how you can create this metric standard 8 dia hole with 10 depth and how you can create the pitch also. So that will be covered in the hole wizard. We can directly just apply the hole wizard and create that. Okay. So after this, uh, it was easy drawing. This was easy drawing. I think you all have created this one.
एक्सक्यूज सर।
Yes.
सर वैसे इस तरह की डायमेंशनिंग को बोलते क्या है, जैसे मतलब 0 को लेकर ओरिजिन से फिर इस साइड को सारे।
That's ordinate type dimension. Ordinate.
ओके सर।
Ordinate word from the coordinate. Okay. Remove the co and it will be ordinate. And what about this one? How did you create this one?
सर रिवॉल्व
Revolve command.
रिमॉल्व कमांड।
Okay. And what about this hole? This one.
सर स्वेप्ट कट
Swept cut.
हम्म
Uh, Anything else? How can you create that? We can do it without the swept cut also. We can do it with the help of revolve cut or the extrude cut also. So to create this one, you can just create a circle at this point of radius 2 or dia 4, and you can specify a line for the path or for the direction. I have shown you how you can apply the extrude direction vector. The direction vector command I have shown you. So if you go to the front plane, create a sketch like I want a object in this direction. So you can just create a sketch down here and like this one or anywhere. There is no need to align the item. You can create it anywhere where you need. Exit out and go to the extrude. Now you can see it is in straight direction. There is the option of the direction vector. Select the direction, and in this way you can also do that. Okay, simple extrude command with the help of a direction vector or direction edge. And with the help of revolve, you should have created a rectangular shape and revolve that around the 360-degree axis. So there were multiple options. Swept cut is also easy option. You just have to select create the line and use the circular profile option. Okay, so next one. Okay, so is the rib clear? Is there any question in the ribs? You can see that these ribs have some offset distance from the circular entity. If you see here, we have some angular options, and if you see, okay, it's not clear here. Okay, it's clear only in the top view. You can see the rib is outside of this circular entity. So to create that, you have to just create a line at an angle of 43 degree from here. Okay, so moving to the next options for today. So today we are going to cover the patterns from here, the wrap command, the intersect, and the mirror command from here. So going to create the wrap first. Now, suppose I want to write something on this circular face or create a shape on this circular face. So, how can you do that? To create something on the circular face, what is the procedure? How can you do that? So, to do that, just select a face in front or in backwards, any direction. Create a sketch, whichever you need. I need to create this shape. Okay. Now, exit out. Go to the features and there is the command. I want to wrap this shape on this object. Okay, everyone is clear about the wrap. What is the wrap? Like we wrap something. So go to the wrap, select the sketch, select the face, and you can see the shape will be wrapped on that object. Okay, just create the sketch in front or back wherever you need. Go to the wrap, select the sketch, select the face where you want, and you can wrap it like that. Okay, so there are three options in 16 version and there are some other options in 18 version. Okay, in 17, 18, 19 there is some other option that is for uneven surfaces. So the last option right now is scribbling. Basically, scribble means you can write something or draw something on a face or a, like we do in the college for the last day, we write on the shirts, that's called scribbling. Okay, so we can also do that here. Just click OK, and the shape will be printed on this surface, and that surface will also be separated from the whole body. Okay, you can see we can also achieve this shape with the help of some split line, but to create this arcs also you can do it with the help of wrap. So this is the script option. You can just cut the face from that point, or you can just create an emboss. Emboss means extrude. You can create an extrude of this shape. Okay, and what should be the value? I will need this to be 2 mm. Click OK, and you can see this shape is extruded from that face. Okay, clear? Is that clear? How you can do that? So in emboss, the object will be outside, it will be extruded, and there is the option deboss, it means cut. So I'm going to define the 0.5 depth, click OK, and you can cut the material from that face off, like that. So three option: emboss means extrude, deboss means extrude cut, and script means to just print the shape or to just split the face. Okay, you can also type the text here. Go to the sketch, go to the text, write the text here. Okay, you can just type something, click OK. The text will be at the origin. Let's go to this point and you can move the text like that. If you want it to be bigger, just double click, go to the use document font, and you can change the font and the size. So go to the points. I want it to be 28, and the font size, the font type I want is, okay, this one. Okay, you can see this is it, but the size is very bigger. I need to scale down the size to 18, like that. So click OK. After that you can move the shape to somewhere here and exit out. Go to the feature, go to the wrap, select the OK. To select the shape. Okay, we cannot, I think we cannot grab everything. Okay, for a second. Okay, so text will have some problems here. Shape can be created, but the text
स्क्राइब
will.
यहाँ पे क्या हुआ लेफ्ट में स्क्राइब
Okay. No, the text will have some problems here. I think I forgot that text is So in higher versions, I think I have applied that in higher version. So I will show you that in the higher version how can we create that. Okay, in higher version we can also do that on these type of surfaces. Right now we will not be able to do that in these shapes, but in 18 or 19 or 20 we will be able to do that on these shapes also. So I will show you that in the next lecture with the help of a video how we can do that. I will create in some different version. Right now I don't have installed the higher version in this laptop. So I will show you that in the next lecture how we can do that. Okay, I think I have done that in higher version. So right now just go with this one, how to wrap this one at here, and the text will be covered in the next session. You can see the text is not applying here. Text, because we cannot select the text from here. Okay. So next thing after wrapping this, after creating the shape, the next thing is how to intersect. So intersect will be covered in few minutes. We'll cover last that intersect command. Mirror, you already know how we can mirror the object. Okay, if you need this object to be mirrored, go to the mirror, specify the plane, specify the features. I want this feature and this one also. Click OK, and that feature will be created like that. But there was no material, so we can just drag this material also, and it can be created like that. Okay. If you select any face, you will get this arrow. This arrow will be available if you select the instant 3D option from here. You can see you can increase the size from here like that. So if you turn this off, there will be no arrow. So instant 3D, and you can change anything. You can change this height. You can select and change the diameter like that. The fillet will also be updated with the diameter. So the next command is patterns. If you want to create some patterns, you can create that, create a sketch with a value. Okay, I'm going to create a rectangular shape here, not circular, because if you turn the circle, it will always remain circle. If you turn the rectangle, it can be rotated around an angle. Okay, so define the values first and find the shape, whatever you need. So go to the extrude and define the size. We want that to be 50. Okay. So now how to create some features with the help of pattern command. So we have multiple types of options here. First is the linear pattern, as you have used in the sketch. The linear pattern create the object in both the direction. The direction can be selected at any axis. Go to the linear pattern, you will see there is the direction one. In sketch, we directly get the x and y direction, but in here, in the 3D linear pattern, you will get the option to select the directions. So you can choose the direction with the help of edge or with the help of any dimensions. So I'm going to select with the help of edge. So this edge will be my first direction. I want to pattern in this direction. So after that, there are two options. If you want to specify the spacing and instances, spacing means between gap, instance means number of items. Or if you want to define up to some reference that I want to create the feed pattern up to this point or this phase. So you can select that also. So default option, the main option is spacing. You can define the between gap, like I want the gap to be 30, and the number of items should be 6. Okay, so right now we don't see any preview here because we have not selected this feature in the feature and faces option. We need to select the object, so you can see that we have this preview here. So you can change the value between gap and you can change the number of items from here, whichever you need. Okay, up to reference means select the reference. I want to create the object up to this face, and after that we have some offset distance that you need to create an object at a offset. So what distance you want to define, that is 30, you can define the 25. Okay, you can see now the object is being defined from the centroid. Okay, so the distance being measured is from the center to center option. So you can see that object can be created like this one. Okay, if we increase the size like 26, you will not see the object here because the center moved further this point. Okay, so this is the centroid option. Okay, so this is the number option. You can define the number of items and the gap will be adjusted according to that. You can see that like that. If you want that there should be some offset distance, you don't want the object to be outside here, so you can specify the offset value. I know that I have specified this length at 15, so I'm going to specify the value to be 7.5 at least. So we will get the last object here on the edge. If you specify higher value, we'll get some gap like 15. So we'll get the gap of 15 from this point to this center. Okay. So the main option is spacing and instances. You have to specify the between gap. I want that gap to be 25. The number of items I want that to be 7. Okay. If you want some higher, you can specify that. So again, you can specify that options from here also. You can see this is a collet. Okay, it will show you information. These collets will be available in many options. So you can specify the values from here also. And it will show you the direction 1. This is the direction 1 and the direction is specified with this edge. Now there is the option direction 2. You can specify the direction 2 also from here, or you can choose the dimension for the direction 2 also. Okay, so I don't want that to be with the help of this. I only want with the help of edges. So go to the direction 2, select this one. Now you will see there are no objects created in this direction because we have not specified the number of items. It is 1, so we have already one option here. If you select 2, you should have to increase the gap and flip the direction from here, increase the number of items from here. You can see that. Okay, so this is the basic pattern option in the linear direction. If you don't want to see these patterns, you want to only create these patterns from here and here, you don't want these patterns, you can just click on this pattern seed only. This is the seed object that we have created first, and all the objects are created from this seed. So we can just create the pattern in the seed only option like that. Okay, wait a second. Okay, so this is the seed option. Seed means you have created this object only and you want to pattern only this object in this direction and this direction. You don't want to create the between objects, so pattern seed only. So choose according to that, according to your need. Okay, after that we have some option feature and faces. So Here you have to select the feature to pattern. After that, we have some option of bodies. Right now we are not going to use the body. I will explain the difference in 2 minutes. Next option is instance to skip. If you want to skip any object, suppose I don't want to see these middle objects, so go to the instance to skip. Now you will see some points in between. So you can click on that point and you will not see those objects here. Click OK and these objects will be created like this. Okay, if you want to skip any object, so there is the option instance to skip. You can do that from here, down here, instance to skip. If you want any, you can just click on that. It will be created like this. Okay, any question till now? If you want me to repeat anything till now, you can ask now. Okay, so next options we have a very sketch. We will cover it later. We have geometrical pattern. So by default we have a simple pattern option, but sometime we have to create so much uh, instances that we have to create around 5000 instances. So the file will get very heavy and software will crash. If you have 8 GB RAM, the software will crash with around 2000 patterns. Okay, so to create those type of pattern, use geometrical pattern and it will create the patterns in that way that there will be no load on the system. Okay, the geometry pattern is a very it is used to just ease out the load on the system. Okay, just click here and your system will perform fastly. This is the propagate visual properties. We will also cover this in few minutes. This is the preview. Right now we have the partial preview. This is the full preview. Okay, so we don't see any difference in partial and full preview right now. Okay, but we have earlier see the difference between partial and full in the fillet command. Okay, so last option is instance to vary. If you want to vary the size of any instance, we can do it from here, but right now I'm not going to do it. I just want to complete, and this is the linear pattern option. Okay, we will cover the differentiation in these type of patterns. So this is the simple pattern. You have to just define two direction. Again, select the pattern. If you select the feature first, go to the pattern and define the axis, you will able to see some features. Okay. Okay, we are facing some problem. We are not seeing any features right now. Okay, we only have applied. So you can define the direction one. You can define the direction two from here and define the values and click OK. That's the linear pattern, the main thing in the linear pattern. Okay, if you want to create the pattern in the circular way, suppose I want to create some pattern in this axis like this one. So to do that, we have the pattern type circular. Go to select the axis of rotation, select the feature from here. You can create it in this way. So right now I don't want them to be in 360. So click here on the equal spacing. You will get the between gap. I just want the gap to be around 60 degree. Okay, so you can see we have some options like that. The linear pattern will be created, but to create linear pattern we have to just create a new file, create a circular entity. Okay. Suppose you have created a hole here from the extrude cut. Just go to the extrude cut to wall. Now you can go to the pattern, circular pattern. Now you can select the axis of rotation if you have any axis, or you can select the cylindrical face also. So you have to select that cylindrical face which axis is, whose axis is in the mid. So you can select this one also, this one, because all the object has same axis of rotation, and you can see that the object will be created in a circular manner. Here is the number of items. You can increase the number of items from here. If you don't want to create it in 360, you can define the value from here that I want the features to be patterned at 180-degree. If you don't want to specify the equal spacing, you can just define the spacing from here, that I want the spacing to be 18-degree or 20-degree, like that. Okay. If you want the 360, then define the 36-degree, like that. If you define the equal, you have to define the total angle and the number of items. It will calculate the objects from here. Any question till now? Okay. So what is the instance to vary option? In that, we have to choose a dimension. So right now I'm going to the other drawing. So this is the drawing, and I'm going to select the object, going to pattern. So first axis is this one, the feature is this one. I want the object to be patterned like that. So go to the instance to vary, and now you can vary its values. Like I want its size to be vary, is this 20 to be vary, and I want that on every instance the the length of this object will increase by the value of 2 mm. And if you click OK, you will see that at every instance this 20 value become 22 here, 24 here, 26 here, and 22, 28 here. Okay. On every instance you can see there is the change in the size. Go to the pattern. Again, you can vary other things also. You can vary multiple things. If you want to change its width also, you can change that, or if you want to change its height, you can select the height. You can also specify the increment of 5, like 0.5. Click OK. You can see the height is also being increased with a 5 mm value on every instance, and the size is also being increased with the instance. Okay. Any question in the variation?
सर
Yes, ask.
सर जैसे आपने ये विड्थ 2 mm इंक्रीज करी
Mm-hmm.
तो इक्विडिस्टेंट हो सकता है कि राइट में भी 2 mm राइट लेफ्ट में भी 2 mm दोनों साइड बराबर इंक्रीज हो एक साइड से नहीं जैसे इसमें एक साइड से ही
Because
है
we have applied a value here, we have not created this object symmetrical. We have to make it symmetrical, so that we can do that. Go to the drawing, and we have, you can see we have applied a distance 10 here. So this 10 will be there. Okay. If we delete this 10, create a line from the mid, like this one, convert, and define the value that this should be 25. Exit out. Now you will see it is increasing in both the directions.
यस सर ओके थैंक यू सर
Any other question? So you can increase any value that you will see here. Okay, you can increase this distance, you can increase or decrease this value, or this value. Any value you want to change, just click here and that will be done. Okay, so these are the two options, that is linear pattern and the circular pattern. So the main thing to create in the linear pattern is select the axis, select the direction of pattern. You can create two direction pattern, and in the circular you have to select the axis of rotation. So next thing we have is mirror option. This option is this one. There is no change. You can just create a mirror entity from here. You can see all the options are similar. Okay. So you can select the plane or face to create a pattern like that, and features to mirror. You can select this one. Click OK. Okay. You will not see any pattern here because there is no reference on that object. Okay. There should be any reference, but there is no reference, so that we cannot create it in this direction. But you can create the pattern in the other direction. Okay, so we needed this face to be in the middle. First option, go to the extrude and create it in the midplane, and you can apply the pattern like that. Okay. So next option in mirror is curve driven pattern. You can create a pattern on a specified curve or on a specified path. So to do that you have to create a curve, create a sketch, create a curve. You can create with the help of a line or with the help of a spline or arc, whichever you need. Okay, like that. I want to create some patterns on this arc or this path. So go to the pattern curve driven. You will see there is a direction one option. In direction one you will have to select the path, and in the features you will have to select this feature. You will get your features on that curve. So now we have some options here. This is the number of cap. I want 5 objects, 6, 7, whichever you need, you can check that. Okay. So here we have some curve methods. So there is the offset curve, there is the transform curve. Okay, what is the difference in the offset and the transform? In offset curve, the object will be in one direction. You can see the object will be created in upper shape. Okay, in the upper direction of the curve. If you click on the transform, the object will be created according to the shape of curve, not offset. It will be according to the shape of curve. So to do that, I'm going to use a different example, circular example. Okay. So I'm going to create a new file. Sketch this one. Pick a rectangular shape. Activate feature. So okay. There is the path. We want that path like this one. Activate feature and shape that is. If I create it here, go to the extrude. Now go to the curve driven, select the curve, select the object. You will see the object is being created in the downside because we have the offset curve. If you click on transform curve, the object will follow the shape of the curve. Okay, it can go up and down. If we create more in this direction, there will be some more changes. Click OK. Now if you go to the normal view, you will see the difference. The object is being created with this curve. Okay, If you change the curve and press Ctrl B, you will see the difference. And if you add it, go to the offset curve, click OK. The object will remain on similar distance from here, and everywhere you can see that distance will be common. Okay, basically it is offset command that object will be created with some offset value from there. Okay. So next option we have in that is tangent to curve or align to seat. So this is the alignment method. You can see that object is being aligned with the curve. You can see the direction. This is the direction up here. Okay, you can see the direction up here is this one. Now it is being rotated with the curve direction. You can go to the align to seat. All the direction will remain similar to the seat object, like this one. Tangent to curve, align to seat. This is the option. Okay, you can specify the direction to also. If you have any direction, you can specify that also. You want okay, you have to click here and you can specify the direction to also, and specify how much objects you need it. Okay, so you need two objects, equal spacing. So you can see there is another line. If you go to the tangent, you can see there are some other objects like that. If you increase the gap, or there is the equal spacing, so the spacing will be okay. So in the curve option, we only create most of the time a single line, so that our objects can be created. The rest the options are similar. If you want to skip, you can do that. There is geometry, there is preview, propagate, visual properties. So what is the option of propagate visual properties? So if you apply any property on this face, suppose I want to specify a color on that face, so I can just go here and select the face and specify a color for that face from here also. Okay, and specify a color, select the face, select a color from here. You can see we have some properties. So if you create a pattern of this object in any way, okay, and if you click here propagate visual properties, click OK, you can see every object will have that same property. If you don't select the option, you will not have the property of that object. This is the visual propagation. You can turn it on if you want to apply the properties. You can turn that off if you don't. So next option we have is sketch driven. Sketch driven means you can create some reference points so that the pattern can be created. So in that you will just have to create some points from here. Okay, create some points like that, whichever you need. Exit out, go to the sketch driven. You can select the sketch like that, and you can select the feature like that. Okay, so you can see the object is being created on that points. This is the centroid option. Every object is in the center. You can select a point like that, and that point will be created on those sketches. Click OK. This is the option of sketch driven pattern. Okay, in curve driven you have to create a curve. In sketch driven you have to create some points. Okay, so the points you create will be the location of that object. So next option we have is table driven, and variable and fill. First we are going to cover the fill pattern. So go to the fill. Now select the fill boundary. You have to create a boundary up to where you want to create the object. So now I'm going to do that on here. So go to the sketch, create a sketch. I want to create some objects in this boundary, and there is a circular and there is a arc. That's it. So go to the fill pattern, select the boundary, you can select that. Now you have to select the object from here, feature and faces. So select the feature, you can see in the boundary, in the closed boundary, the pattern will be applied. You will not see any object in this circle because I have created that intentionally to leave out that area. Okay, so the boundary you create, all the objects will be applied there, or all the objects will be created in that area. So to control the shape, we have some options. We have the pattern layout here. You can create the pattern in this way. You will see there is one line, there is second line. The second object is in mid between these 2 points. You can specify the between gap, like you want to have that gap to be at 25. You can specify the angle and define that angle to be 45. You will see the exact mid. If you specify 60, there will be some other gap. Okay, so whichever you need, specify that value. After that, we have a value here. This is the offset gap, that how much offset you want from this edge to be applied. You can see the result here. There is the one gap. So if you create, if you decrease the gap to zero point 0.1, you will see. Okay, there is no option to create an object here. Okay, if you increase the gap from 1 to 2, you will see some changes. Okay, you will see some changes. If you increase the value to 3, you will see these objects. There were some objects, they were removed now. If you decrease the gap, you will get the object. So this gap defines that the object from this edge should be should be at some distance. So that distance is this one. We have one gap right now. If we increase the gap like that, and if the object crosses that gap, the object will be removed. Okay, so this is the option. In this way you can create. Now we have the pattern direction. You can change the direction. If you have any angular direction, you can apply that. Right now it's specified to this length. You can change it to this side, but you will not see any difference because there is no other direction right now. So click OK. Right now I'm going to create a reference sketch for the direction. I want this object to be at an angular side. I want this line to be at an angle. Create, exit, create the sketch before, move that sketch before the pattern. Go to the pattern. Now select this line as a reference. You will see the reference will be created like that. Okay, you will see that the objects are being created at an angle, and there is the angle also specified, that is 45 degrees. Okay, so you can see this is the line, and you can see these are the objects created in this way parallel to that line. Okay, you will not see here some you will not see properly here because we have some gap here. So you can see the first object is here, second is here, third is here. So this is the angle that we have created with this line. So click OK, and your objects will be created in a fill pattern manner. So you can change the pattern from here. You can create in a circular way. You can see there is a circular way. First, I will remove this circle from here. Click exit. You will see the pattern is filled inside now. So this is the circular way. You can see this is the center. This is the first one. This is the second, the third arc, the fourth arc. So there are the arcs like that option. Okay, you can specify the between angle. I want that angle to be 25. So you can see that. Okay. So after that we have an option square. We can create them in the square option, the square shape. So you have to specify the gap between two objects. I want that gap to be 25, and right now we have selected a reference line. Clear that, select the reference. So you will see that objects are being created in the square direction. You can see that those are in straight rows and columns. Okay, so between gap is from here. The last option is polygon. It is also around a circular entity. Okay, in this way, this is the polygon option. So you can specify the polygon size. Okay, right now we have 10 number of sides. To see that object properly, you have to move the sketch to middle, exit out, and now you will see the polygon option. You will see that number of sides, we have to decrease the number of sides to a specific point so that you will see that clearly. So the polygon option, number of sides are 10. You can see number of sides. You have the pentagon option. Okay, first side, second side, third side, fourth, fifth. You can decrease that to 4 sides to 3 sides. Okay, like that. You see 3 sides, first, second, and third side. So we have different options. You can choose it from here with some values, whichever you need, like that. Okay. So click OK, complete, and this will be our shape. Any question till now? Okay, so next option we have is table driven pattern. So in table driven pattern, you have to create a table with the help of some coordinates. Suppose we have this object here, go to the table driven, you have to specify some things here, some properties here. You can insert a file from here, and the file should be in the text format, or you can specify everything from here. You can see the feature is selected here. You have to specify the coordinate system. To specify the coordinate system, you can go to the origin. Okay, right now we don't have any coordinate here, so we have to create a coordinate. So first go to the reference, we have the coordinate system, create the coordinate where you need. I want a coordinate up here. The x direction should be this one and the y direction should be this one. Okay, so, if you need the z direction in the upward, click on the z direction, reverse that, and select the reference for the z direction like that. You can see x is this one, y is this one, z is upside. Click OK. You have the coordinate system. Go to the pattern, table driven, select the coordinate system, select the feature. Now you can specify some xy coordinate from here. I want that object to be started from in x. I want the first object at 10 and 10, and you can see we have an object here. I want second object to be at 20 comma 10. There is the object. If you want to increase the size, find the value like that. Okay, I want that object to be at 50 comma 10. Okay, if you want to go in somewhere middle, go to the 50 and 50, like that you can create. So in this way you can create some objects like that. Click OK, and you will see this is the table driven pattern. Okay, you have to just specify the coordinate. You can just create a text file also. So go to the notepad, create some coordinates, like I want first object at 10 So provide the space for y value 10, 20. I want that 10 and 50, 10 and 70. I want next to be 30, 30, 30, 60, 30, 90, and 60, 40. Okay, and 60, 70, like that. So save that file on the desktop where you want. This is coordinate system values. So here is a file. Go to the part, go to the feature, go to the table, sorry, table ribbon. Now you have to select the feature and go to the browse, go to the desktop, select here text files. You can see there is the text file. Open it up. You will see the coordinate defined here. Just select the coordinate from where you want to create the object. Click OK. Now you can see we have the object created right here. Some coordinates was overlapping, so we had some problem in some objects. You can see there are some distances also provided. Okay, so this is the table driven pattern. So in the table driven, you cannot specify the size, you cannot create a variable pattern, you cannot vary the pattern in the direction. So to vary the size also, you have another option, that is variable pattern. So to create the variable pattern, just I'm going to delete this. I'm going to create a sketch. I'm going to create a rectangular shape like this one. Define the value. Okay, this one should be 30. This one should be 60. You can also define the name to value. You can see this is D2. I want this to be width. Okay, not the length. Okay, okay. I need this to be named as width. Right now, you will not see any value, any name from here, but I will show you where this will used. So 20 and 30. So I want to create a cut from here with a depth of 2 mm. Okay, I want a fillet also. So go to the fillets and select the edge. Select the edge like that. Specify the radius. I want the radius to be 5. Okay. So we have this option here. We have this feature here. Now I want to create another feature here, but with some changes. So select the feature, okay, or just go to the variable pattern. You will see you have to select the feature. I want this cut and I want this fillet also. So both the options are selected here. Now you have to go to the create pattern table. Again we are going to select the table, but in here you have the option to select multiple things. Now you can select, if you go to the this value, you can see if you select this value, there is the option sketch 3 and this is width. Okay, if you go here you will see this is length. Okay, so these names were defined by me. Okay, these are user defined name. If you go here, I have not specified any name here. You will see this is T2. Okay, this is T1 and this one is fillet T1. So in this way you can create, you can select every dimension. Now if you want to add another object, click here add instance. You will get an object number 1. Okay, if you want to change the width, I want its width to be at 60. I want its length to be 80. I want its gap. So this 30 should be 30 plus 30, 90. I want that to be at 120. So the object will be created from here. This distance is 120 and the gap should be 20. I want that gap should be 20. I want to vary the fillet to 10. Okay, if you want to just complete, click OK, or you can just go to the update preview. You will see that the object will be created with this size. So everything you can define from here. Click OK. Okay, and if you click OK here again, you will see that the next feature will be created from here. You can also create multiple options. Go to the edit pattern table. You can add. Now you have to specify some values. Again, I want the value to be at 40, this value to be at 50, this gap should be at 120 plus 80, that is 200. I want that to be 220, and I want to increase the size also, that height also, so that should be at 50. Okay, so the fillet radius I want is 5 again. Update the preview, you will see that your object is created somewhere here. Click OK. So this is the variable pattern. You can vary the location, you can vary the size, you can define multiple options from here. If you go here, you can see all the features are here. You can just, if you don't want to see this one, right click here, go to the suppress, feature will be hide or will be hidden. If you go to unsuppress, feature will be shown. If you want to hide from inside, go to the here, edit pattern table. You can just click here, instance to skip. Okay, okay, you will only got this one, and again you will see this one is hidden. You can directly press it from here. So these are the options in the pattern. If you have any question, you can ask. Is it clear how to create some patterns?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you want to ask, you can ask right now. We have covered a lot of things in the pattern, and these things are not understandable in the first time. So practice these things, and I'm sure you will get many questions after that. So the next option we have, the last command for today, is intersect. So how can we use the intersect command? So basically intersect command is used to generate some intersecting material. If we have two objects and we want to use only the intersection uh, where the intersection is created. If you want to only use that object, we can use that from the intersect. Suppose, okay, so suppose I have another object here, a circular one like this one, create like that, and go to the mid plane. Suppose I have this one shape here. If I click OK, and remember to create a body, this is a merged body right now because this is a merged result, so this will be a single body. If you want to create multiple bodies, you can use that object from here. This is merge result, uncheck this option, and this will be a different object, this will be a different object. Okay, so we have, okay, so we have left one option in the pattern, that if you want, we have always selected the option here, feature and faces. We have another option, that is body, so we cannot select it right now. Okay, so because this is a single body, we cannot select it right there. We have to just first go to the edit, go to the merge result, uncheck that option. Now this is a separate body. Now you can go to the feature. Okay, if you just select it directly and go to the linear pattern, now you will specify the edge. Okay. Okay, right now it's going to create that. Okay, we need some different option to show that. Wait a second. So to show that example, what is- okay, I'm going to create some other shapes. Okay, suppose we have an object and that is not created as a merged body. You can see I have unchecked the option merged. Now if you go to the feature and faces, you try to select this face, it will show invalid feature for patterning. Please recreate the feature using the geometry pattern or make sure the pattern is on a single solid body. So in that case you can just go to the bodies. If you are unable to select this type of option, go to the bodies and select that object. You will be able to choose that option. Okay, if you have created any separate body, you can just use the bodies option also, and you can create that object like that. Okay, so right now I was going to show you how you can create an intersecting body. So to do that, I have created this as a different body, and this is a different body. Go to the intersect, select the two bodies. Okay, now you will be able to select this one separately and this one separately. If you just click here on the intersect, you can see we got some objects here. First is this one. Okay, this one. Second is this one, and third is the inner area that we don't see right now because that area is inside of or the intersection of both these objects. So right now I don't want to see this one section and this one section. You can see this is the intersecting area that we got. You can just click OK and we can just have that object also. So to create some intersections, we use the intersection to see where you can use the intersection. We can just create a object. Okay, I'm going to create a shape on the top. Okay, I'm going to create a hinge like that one. Move from here to here. This one, here to here. Okay, trim them. Yes. Okay, so I want them to be equal. These two also, and there should be some holes, and all those again should be equal. Exit out, go to the feature, go to the extrude, and create this. So suppose I want this object to be at some different shape. So I'm going to create another shape, sketch. I'm going to use this shape to be like exit feature, and going to be extrude that object with mid plane like that. Okay. So you can see there are two objects, and object should not be merged. It's okay. And now if you go to the intersect, select first body and the second body, create the intersect. Now you have multiple regions. I don't want this. I don't want this one. I don't want this one. And I also don't want the internal option. So just click on them, click OK, and you are left with the option like this. So to create these type of features, you can use the intersect command. You will get the intersection option. Okay. You can also create this option with the extrude cut, but sometimes there are some things that we cannot create easily. Like suppose I'm not going to use the intersect right now, not this feature. I'm going to use the surface here, mid plane like that, and I'm going to deform the shape. Okay. Okay, so I want this shape to be according to this one. So go to the feature, go to the intersect, select both entities, create intersect, remove the outer area you don't want, and you can just create this shape like that. Okay, so to create these shapes, it is not easy to create a shape like this one. You cannot create the bends easily. You have to create some surface options to create those. So intersect means it will create the intersection between the two objects, and the merging bodies or the merging material will remain inside. You can use to create a merging result of both the bodies. Okay, like again a new example, that suppose I have created a bottle, a new file. I'm going to create a bottle. So how to create a bottle? So you can see that now. Okay, I want to create some sketches. Create an offset entity. That shape should be inside side offset like that. Exit sketch offset entity, or just convert entity like that. Exit, and here a circular shape like this one. Exit, and I need a different plane. let's convert this one with OK. So I'm not using any guide curve right now. It's just an example. Go to the loft from here to here, and here, and here. And okay, you can add the guide curve also to create a smooth object. Now I'm going to use this a little bit straight option. So start and constraint. So from start, it should be normal to profile around. You can see the change here. Okay. So I want to create something this shape. So I'm going to hide all the planes, and also at the end. Okay. So go to the shell, create a hollow object, component thickness, show the preview, click OK. Okay. Select the face. I don't want to see this one. So we have the hollow object. Go to the section. You can see the section. You can just create a fillet down here and this one. Okay, so we have this bottle. If you want to check the properties, like if you want to check the volume that it can contain, so you can go to the evaluate and go to the mass property. You can check that it has a volume of this one, 184473 cubic millimeter. Okay, so if you want to change check the volume to be at a separate point. Right now it will show us the volume of all the object up to this outer surface. If you want to check the volume, because if you create a bottle, you will fill something inside it, and you will not fill that up to this full point here. You will pull that object somewhere up to here. So how much volume that can contain? So to calculate that, we can use the intersect option. We can create an object from the top. We can create any shape, like I'm going to create a circular shape. So extrude it out, click OK. Okay, so create off the section. So this object should be unmerged like that. So go to the intersect, select the objects. I have selected this one, and I'm going to select this shell one also. Okay, so click on the intersect. You will see that you have this. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this one either. Okay, so wait a second. Okay, so I want this height to be at somewhere here. Okay, so go to the intersect, this one and this one. Create the intersect. I don't want to see this region. I don't want to see this region and this one also. So you will get a inner region. Okay. If you click here, you will see this is the upper. If you click here, this is the circular. If you click here, this is the outer body. You can see this is the outer body. If I don't want to see the outer body, I can just deselect and click OK. So it will be the shape the liquid will contain after you fill that, and this will be the top up to where you have filled this object. So now you can just go to the evaluate, see the mass property of this object, and the mass property of that object is 1337630 cubic millimeters. Okay, if you copy it and use, go to here and see the mass property up here. Okay, let's recalculate, and I'm going to use a notepad. Okay, paste here a notepad. This is the value that I got right now. Okay, this value is of this object. This is 18 something. Okay, and this is the new value that is of the inside of the material. Okay, so we can calculate the volume of the object also from that object after creating with the help of intersect. So intersect means you can create any intersecting body with the help of intersect command. Here, any question? If you have any question, okay. So this was it for the today's session. Now go to the assignment. Okay. We have an assignment now. You have to create this object in the 3D. Previously, I think you have done it in the sketch. Now you have to create this object, this 3D object. So you can now you can see we have some different options. So I'm not going to tell you how you can create this. You will create it yourself, and after that you can ask in the next session. You have to create these parts also. You have to create every part. You can see this is the first part, this is the second part. Okay, you have to create both the parts, and there you have some parts also. Okay, so some different options are applied. You can just create those, and we have some this option also. If you have any problem, if you face any problem, you can ask. Right now I'm going to specify some things here, that if you see this one 36 dia h7 and this plus minus value, so this is the tolerance. You have to just use the value 36, nothing else. Okay, use only this value, don't use the tolerances right now, because tolerances are used in the machining, not in the 3D modeling. In 3D modeling we create an exact model, we don't use tolerances. Tolerances are for the machining purpose only. Okay, so don't use this h value or this plus minus value, use the first value, that is 28 dia or 36 dia. Okay, so here we have some specification. This is M6 into 1 and 6H. So use only a whole command, sorry, extrude command and extrude command from here of 6 dia hole. Okay, nothing else. And this hole should be true. So if you face any problem, you can ask me on the WhatsApp, and you don't have to use this option also. Okay. Use the option, this one, break sharp edges with 0.1 mm. So use the fillet option to break every corner. Okay. If you don't have any fillet, use the 0.1 radius fillet to break every corner. You don't have to create a sharp corner. Clear? So this was it for the session. If you have any question, please ask your question right now, or else I'm going to close the session. Just don't leave right now.
Sir,
Yes,
if you want to have any question regarding assignment, then how you will contact?
you can just ask in the group. I will reply you.
Sir, what is the WhatsApp number?
Okay. Wait a second. Okay. This is my WhatsApp number. You will get this number in the group. You can just directly WhatsApp from there. Okay. You will find this number in the WhatsApp group. Just select the number and you can directly send a message. Or you
Okay,
can just
okay.
ask in the group so that everyone will also get the answer. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Going to end the meeting now.